Hey everybody, we're back out here at the grape arbor and we're going to get the ground garden planted. Everything that we're planting today stays at ground level. It does not vine up the trellis. That's another lesson that we learned last year. I put a bunch of peas and beans that were trellising or pole beans, and it just seemed to be too much clutter. It just seemed to drown everything out. So rather than put anything that climbs, we're going to stay with the more herbaceous or low growing plants. So what did we do? Well, first thing is make an observation. Everything that we planted over here that was a leafy green did fairly well. And the two oregano plants on either end have certainly established themselves as perennial plants for this garden. They've been there 2 years and produced all throughout the winter. So those stay, and we learn the lesson that perhaps this needs to be an herb bed. So what we've done is taken together a whole wide mix of different herbs and leafy greens. I can't even tell you everything that we picked, and planted them on this side of the garden. On the other side of the garden, where you can see the hay, we planted peas. So let me tell you a little bit more about how this went. First thing we did was collect some rabbit manures and also some well composted horse manure and mix that together with some garden soil that we purchased from the gardening center. We took that mix and spread it all across the ground where the herb garden is going to be. Then we sprinkled on some blood meal to give a little extra boost to these leafy greens and these herbs that we're going to be planting. Then we took the seed mix that we created and sprinkled it across the surface of the bed that we just made. We're not going to embed these seeds, we're going to let them stay right on the surface. Then for the peas, we also put down the same compost and horse manure mix that we had before, laid down a copious amount of green arrow pea seeds. These were given to me by my local seed company, Planter Supply, because the owner there tells me they're his favorite peas. Then we covered them with a light coating of garden soil and also a light coating of straw to make sure that we can keep the soil moist for those pea seeds. Then we gave everything a nice soaking of water to let it set into the soil. So here's some additional information on why we're doing this. Those herb seeds that we planted on the house side of the trellis are very, very fine, small seeds. I want to treat them just like they would be treated in nature, and almost did it in like a Sepp Holzer kind of permaculture planting method, where I just took a batch of seeds, spread them across the area, and wherever nature decides that's where that plant needs to go, then that's where it is. I might end up with some bunching onions here and there. I might end up with toothache over there as well as over there, and sage here and different kinds of basil there. It could be all sorts of a mix all throughout here. With any luck, that's the way that it'll go. But those seeds being so fine will do nothing more than just water them in to the surface. The peas need a little bit more depth on their planting, so that's why we covered them with a little bit of that garden soil and also the straw to give a little bit more of a structure for them to start growing in. We did not provide them with any additional nitrogen because peas are of course legumes, and they will supply the nitrogen that they need for themselves, as well as fix the nitrogen into the soil, hopefully giving some extra nutrients to our grapevines as well. So that's where we are. We'll come back in a few weeks when things start to sprout and let you know how things progress. But otherwise, we're going to leave this garden completely alone and just come back in about 2 months and eat peas for about 3 weeks straight. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.